We're almost through the heat of summer, which means the best part of the year is coming. Eagles running it back for another Super Bowl. In this episode, everyone's sharing their favorite football analogies and breaking down how those plays, strategies, and lessons can relate to your finances. Whether it's planning, protecting, or scoring big, there's something here for every financial playbook. I'm your host, Ryan, and this week we've got the full panel: Bob, Shaun, Nora, Nic, Tyler, and Adam. Tyler, go ahead and get us started with your football analogy.
Yeah, I'm going to first start off with a big Who Day. I know we got some Browns fans on here, so let's go Bengals. But saying I'm going to use today is stack first downs. You know, when you're putting a big drive together on offense, you're wearing that defense down. Those big drives compound over that whole game. That's what we want to do with our finances. We want to get started early. We want to let the interest do its thing, the games do its thing over 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and stack those wins so that by the time the end of the game comes, the end of our life, we're in a great position.
I like that one a lot. I'm a big fan of baseball analogy, but base hits. So, stacking first downs, that works even better. I'd say like my analogy though is don't fumble, hold on to that rock. Don't fumble the bag when it comes to your finances. And there's probably a few ways to do that. But the number one way that comes to my mind is folks that with their portfolio to cash or make a knee-jerk reaction because of the latest headline or the latest scare. And those moves are probably the single most detrimental to your long-term plan. And so just sticking with the plan, staying invested, hold on to that rock even when it's hard. You'll be all right.
Thanks, Nic. I'm going to say, here we go, Brownies. And I will say that the Browns are probably most likely the team that's going to need the most preseason or most practice. And that's why my analogy is, preseason to an athlete is what, planning is to an investor. And so you don't show up to the first game, you don't show up to retirement or some large financial decision, buying a home, without practicing, without a strategy, a plan in place. That's where preseason comes for an athlete. You try out all the, your playbook. You don't have one play. You put together different, investments to achieve those goals. And that's why preseason is so important.
Absolutely. And listen, the Browns are doing well in the preseason. So, hey, maybe this season's going to be different for us. I'm going to go with defense wins championships, right? I think a lot of times when we talk about, finances, it's always the offense that we talk about. Hey, investment strategies or stock picks or something like that. But, we also need to make sure that we're protecting ourselves and our family, that we have the proper insurances in place, that we have estate planning in place, that we just make sure we have that kind of foundation there for, even an emergency fund, right? That we're not investing and going beyond where we should be. So defense wins championships. I'm hoping that's the Browns defense this year. We'll see. But that's my analogy.
Well, you're a lot more optimistic on the Browns than I am, Bob, and no one really cares about defense. It's all about the quarterbacks and the offense. We all know that, and that's why I chose the triple option as my strategy. As a former triple option quarterback myself, it just works, right? And the Browns should probably try it, do something. But what I mean by that is we got to have options. So whether that be pre-tax, Roth accounts, a brokerage account, right? Whatever the strategy is, we have to make sure that we've got different ways that we can tap into funds when we get to retirement. And if we're not quite at retirement, be able to tap into some funds for that emergency, for that down payment on a house, for big purchases. So having a diversified strategy, not just through your investments, but also a triple option strategy where we've got pre-tax, post-tax, and Roth money is going to be very important to make sure you're set up for success. And making sure you're putting the right dollar into the right account at the right time is very important because that gives you power, right? Triple option, fullback dive, power up the middle. That's important. And when you have a good strategy and you have a diversified tax strategy, it gives you power in retirement, be able to take out certain assets and be prepared to set up your family for success.
That's a lot of good talk from all of you, but it's not about the X's and O's. It's always been about the Jimmies and the Joes. We can continue to live up the Browns and act like this year's the year, but it's not going to happen. They're never, ever going to have the Jimmies and Joes like the Kansas City Chiefs or, in Tyler's case, Cincinnati Bengals. Either or is fine. But financially, it's vitally important to surround yourself with a good team. whether that's an advisor, a tax guy, and a state guy. All of that's important. And if you're missing out and relying on a scheme or the X's and O's that are written for you, it's never going to work out in the long run, because the team around you is the most important thing. So sorry, Brownie fans. It's going to be another year with looking at X's and O's instead of bringing on the Jimmies and Joes that you need.
All right. Great feedback, everybody, on your football analogies. I hate to pick on Adam too much here, but I don't know about Jimmy's and Joe's. Over here, we've got Saquon and the tush push, so I think we'll take that and repeat it for another year. But thanks for joining us for this episode of Balance Your Wealth. We're excited to get the football season kicked off here and look forward to doing more of these fun ones.